it's Hatsy and I'm back with another build in The Sims 4. Today we are going to be building Weenie Hut Jr. from SpongeBob. Now, I have wanted to build this for a while and I thought about it when I went downstairs one day after my friends stayed over, and I went down in the morning and they were watching SpongeBob on the TV, and I thought, oh my goodness, I remember Weenie Hut Jr. And yeah, that's why I decided to build it. So I actually think that SpongeBob creations are really interesting, and it would be interesting to see how they'd all kind of convert in the Sims 4. So if you'd like to see me do any more of these, like if you'd want me to do the pineapple or you'd want me to do Squidward's house, I've actually got a really good idea for Squidward's house. So yeah, let me know because I could have a go at it. So this is a bit of a strange one. I used a lot of debug items, so if you do go and get this from the gallery, you may have to replace some of the things because unfortunately, because they're not like official gameplay items, what can happen is they can disappear, you know, for whatever reason. So you may have to like replace, let's say, a bit of popcorn or something. Yeah, the popcorn's supposed to be the top of the cupcake because the actual build is like a little cupcake. It's so cute, honestly. I wish that a restaurant like this actually existed in real life because I would go there, I would visit, and I wouldn't be ashamed. Anyway, what I did was I added these little cupcakes as the sprinkles, but then they weren't pink enough. So I actually used magic beans in the end, so you'll see those. They're like bright pink and they look really good. And they remind me of these really strange things that my mum used to buy me. And they were very sugary. Like, I wouldn't be able to stand the taste of them now. But I used to love them when I was younger. They were like these strange multicolored sugar drops. I have no idea. Like, how we were even allowed those, because my mum was so strict, I swear. We were allowed no sugar, and then she would just let us have that. Like, what? How does that make sense? I have no idea. Okay, anyway, moving on though. So the door from the Weenie Hut Jr., it's got a circled top to it. So you'll see what I do in a minute. I kind of use other sort of decorations and things, and I use BB Move objects, and I kind of like manipulate the look of it. So it does look a lot like it in the end, but it is just a modern door. And it should work. There should be no problems with your sim using this build or anything. I actually tested the other day if doors would work the same if you put something on the front of it. So I put a decoration. It was like a crack decoration from the Sims 4 Vampire pack, I think. And I tested it and the Sims just walked straight through the crack, which is really odd. I don't know why that would work. But yeah, there we go. So finished on the door. It starts to look a little bit more like the cupcake now. Honestly, I'm so happy with how this build turned out. I'm thinking about as well like the Krusty Krab. I think Windenburg's the best place to kind of build these though, because we can't really have them anywhere else. They wouldn't really fit in the same, you know, and it's kind of next to the water, so that makes some sense. It was tiny though. Originally I was going to have it as a restaurant, and then I thought no, actually probably a better idea to have it as like a bar, because yeah, it's just gonna be somewhere that you can kind of go watch TV with your Sims, and that's really it. Just like sit down, order a drink. You won't be able to order food, I don't think. Oh, this was a really weird part. So this was when I tried to add a candle as the sausage, because we don't actually, because like it has a mascot on the top of Weenie Hut Jr. So I was trying to recreate it, but a candle just wasn't working. You'll see me change it in a bit, and I think it looks so much better once I do. But it just took some work, you know. Sometimes debug items or like enlarged items, you've got to kind of have the right vision, and I didn't have the right vision at this point. Not with that weird candle. It looks so much better in the end though. I ended up using a paint bottle, and I was really happy with how it turned out. Yeah, anyway, I used to be obsessed with SpongeBob when I was younger. I was one of these people, I never really grew out of SpongeBob, like ever. I would watch it now and I wouldn't even feel any differently. I'd just be like, oh, okay, that's cool. Like, yeah. I don't know, I think it's one of these programs that you can watch it and it doesn't get old because it also has older humour in as well. So I think they were really smart with the way that they wrote it. It wasn't just for kids. I don't know, that's how I felt. I feel now, like, looking back at it and, you know, sort of listening to some of the jokes, there are some jokes that I maybe wouldn't have got when I was like 10 or 11 watching it, versus now I'd be like, okay, yeah, that's really funny. I don't know, I think maybe they do that because if the parents like sit down and watch TV with the kids, then it makes sense for like everyone to enjoy it. I think my favourite character is probably Plankton, but I also really like the kind of side fish that come into it every now and then, just like with random off comments. I think there was one sort of surfer fish at the beach, just from memory, that used to say really funny stuff. I have no idea. Yeah, anyway, I went to an aquarium the other day and my husband went with me. It was actually his idea to go and I was a little bit skeptical. I was like, okay, why are we going to an aquarium? We're not buying any fish. Like, I was pleasantly surprised. This was a very interesting place. So it sold, you know, all the kind of fish things that you buy, like fish tanks, fish decorations, and then actual fish as well. And they had a whole miniature set of SpongeBob little houses, which I thought was really cute, because if I ever had like a fish tank sort of aquarium, I would want the whole of Bikini Bottom. I wonder if anyone's done that. I don't know. I just, yeah, like that's what I was thinking though. That's what I'd want to do. I'd want to kind of create it a little bit and then just have, you know, random fish swimming around. It would look really cute. So yeah, apart from that though, we were looking around at some of the fish. I really like the unusual looking ones, like the ones that are just unusual shapes and colours and stuff like that. Like, they're really pretty to look at. They had loads of pond features there, and that was the part that we started looking at once we were finished with looking at the random different coloured fish. So we went into the pond part and they had some massive fish in there. We saw this fish, I swear to you, it was like a shark. This thing was ginormous. And like, I was trying to work out how big of a pond you'd need for it. It was one of those ones, like, I can't even think what it was called. But it was long, it was really long. How on earth would you even get that fish in a pond? You would, I swear to you, you would need like 4 or 5 people lifting this fish into a pond. It was massive. Okay, I'm massively exaggerating it. It wasn't even that big, but moving on. So back to the build. I added those really cute little stars on the front. I used some clocks and I just put some lights over them to make sure that they did still resemble the stars. I actually get rid of, you see like the strange poles that we're sort of readjusting now? Yeah, I get rid of them in the end and it looks so much better without. I actually use curtains to do something with like a bit of shape manipulation for the build, and I think it looks so much better once I do that. So yeah, just wait to the end to see what I do with that. And those were those weird like little magic beans I was talking about. It looks so much better with those on. I didn't take the cupcakes off because honestly they took so long to get on and I thought they still looked good just being there. So yeah, it's just like a little bit of mix and match. But we didn't have the exact sprinkles to put on. They were the best things that I could think of using. So that's why I did that. And adding the curtains on the outside, this was a bit of a weird trick I had. I just wanted it to look sort of like it wasn't so straight and yeah, like look more like a cupcake. So that's why I was doing that. And now onto the inside. The inside really didn't take me that long and I couldn't find many pictures of it, so I had to make a lot of it up. The only picture I could find was a meme and it only showed like half the bar. So it just had SpongeBob, Patrick, and then this like waiter just there, and that was it. That was the only view that I got. So what I decided to do though is I decided to go off that and try and recreate it as best as I can. And at this point I was pretty sure that it was going to be a restaurant, and then I just changed it later on, so you'll see that. I think it'll be a really nice area to have filled up with Sims, and if you do create like SpongeBob, Patrick, Squidward, I'd love to see them in here. That would be so interesting to see your interpretation of them in The Sims. I'm thinking of doing that. I'm actually thinking of recreating my dog in The Sims 4. This is so odd. But the reason is because I think that my sort of interpretation of him as a sim would just be completely different. I don't know, it's interesting. I'll have to look on the gallery and see if anyone's made the 3 of them, because it would be interesting to see what people think that they'd look like as Sims. So I was closing in the bar at this point, and I was thinking about using this like really brightly coloured wallpaper, but I didn't in the end. I changed it and it fits in more with the build. In fact, this floor would look amazing in the Krusty Krab, because I think a lot of the flooring in builds from SpongeBob actually use the kind of sort of washed out decking. I really want to create another pirate ship. Just thinking of sea related creations. I made a pirate ship ages ago. I made the Pirates of the Caribbean, the Black Pearl, but I think I want to do another. I don't want to recreate too many things that I've already done, because it's quite nice to just make brand new creations as well. But yeah, we'll see. If you have like an idea for something that you'd want to see me create, then just let me know in the comments, because that's always really helpful. So doing the last little things on the outside, I also added some alien plants. I thought that looked really nice because it kind of fitted in, even though there isn't any landscaping around the actual Weenie Hut Jr. Anyway, that is the end of the build. I really hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see all future ones. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll speak to you all soon.